Good evening and welcome to the Pocono Mountain School District Board meeting for March 1st, 2023. For tonight's meeting, community members are participating in person and may watch the meeting through a Zoom webinar where their audio and video have been disabled by default. Closed captioning is available to virtual attendees by clicking on the closed captioning button on the bottom of their screen. Board members are attending this meeting from the school board meeting room in the administration building. This meeting was publicly advertised, inviting the public to attend in person or virtually by registering through a link available on the Pocono Mountain School District website. The advertisement stated that members of the public who wish to offer public comment on agenda and non-agenda items may do so in person or by sending an email by 3 p.m. today to the advertised public comment email address. All public comments, whether submitted by email or in person, will be limited to 3 minutes. The board and/or administration will respond to them as deemed appropriate. When we reach section 5.1 and section 11, recognition of visitors for comments, we will read the email public comments first and then take public comment from those in attendance at the meeting. If a community member is making public comments, the following is required. First and last name, municipality of residence, content of their public comment. This board meeting is being audio and video recorded. I now call this meeting to order. Mr. Byrd, can you lead us in the flag salute? To flag of the United States of America. Thank you, Mr. Byrd. Mr. Colaza, attendance, please.
Good evening. Attendance for this evening, March 1st, 2023, regular board meeting. Mr. Byrd?
Present.
Ms. Grape Garvey?
Here.
Mr. Johnson is absent for this evening. Ms. Leonard? Mrs. Lopez?
Here.
Mr. Reinheimer? Mr. Strunk?
Present.
Mr. Waddle?
Present.
And Mrs. Pyzik.
Present.
Attendance has been taken.
Thank you, Mr. Colaza. I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So move, Ron Byrd.
Second, Anna Lopez.
All in favor? Motion carried. Dr. Robinson.
Good evening. I have a number of student and staff accomplishments that I'd like to share. First of all, 5 students from our Swiftwater Intermediate School have their artwork on display as part of the Pocono Art Council exhibit in Stroudsburg. Congratulations go out to Brianna Hartshorn, grade 6, Genevieve Butts, grade 6, Emily Lundberg, grade 6, Alyssa Comstack, grade 5, Ray Lurch, grade 5, and Alyssa Comstack was also named honorable mention in the junior category. Our SIS held its monthly Pride Incentive on Friday, February 24th. The theme was Choose Your Own Adventure. Students could pick from activities such as STEAM, mindfulness, bingo, trivia, free art, a virtual escape, board games, and a community room and study hall. Our Swiftwater Intermediate SGA organized a paper product drive last month that was very successful. The SGA and the SIS building collected enough paper towels to fill over 30 boxes. The products collected were tissues, napkins, paper plates, and paper towels. The 35 students in SGA recently delivered the paper products to the Pocono Mountain Hunger Ministry and took a tour of the pantry where they learned about the process that takes place to bring products to the community on the first Wednesday and Saturday of every month. Several of our students left the pantry wanting to return on their own to help in other ways at the pantry. It was a great experience for the SIS, SGA, and the SIS building as a whole. Congratulations to our Pocono Mountain East Jazz Ensemble. The student musicians performed at the Art Quest Center in Bethlehem as part of the Steel Stacks Jazz Showcase. The East Jazz Ensemble earned an excellent rating overall, and Rachel Alexander was selected as the outstanding vocal soloist. In honor of March as Music in Our Schools Month, our East High School Concert Choir and Women's Choir is going to perform at the PA State Capitol, and that's going to be held tomorrow, March 2nd. Pocono Mountain East High School has earned the College Board AP Computer Science Female Diversity Award for achieving high female representation in the AP Computer Science principles. Schools honored with the AP Computer Science Female Diversity Award have expanded girls' access in AP Computer Science courses. Thank you to Mr. Luciano for contributing to this great achievement. East High School students from Mrs. Kolakowski's class assisted in a presentation at the P&C conference that was held at Kalahari. P&C is a statewide event that provides quality programs focused on technology. Our students enjoyed sharing their experiences regarding the STEAM journey, kindergarten through high school life skills. West High School AP Art students completed the African unit of AP Art History with the summative essay. Students created formal analysis comparisons of an artwork from the African image set and a mystery African artifact. Students were able to collect work with real African artifacts that were borrowed from private collections. Working with primary sources is an exciting way for our students to have an authentic learning experience. Our West High School National Science Honor Society completed its first and very unique service project under the direction of Miss Corinne Long. For the month of February, the students wanted to tackle the periodic table in regards to celebrate Black history. The periodic table is arranged by the atomic number to organize everything. The element symbol is representing the initials of the person. The element name is the person's name. The atomic weight is representing the person's birth date and death date if needed. The students also added additional information onto their slides. Also, the information is on colored paper, classifying them as an activist, author, athletes, artist, entrepreneur, famous first, politicians, musician, and scientist. Students conducted the research, prepared the slides, and constructed the periodic table. The periodic table represents the 90 individuals, since they did not include the bottom 2 rows on the periodic table. Congratulations to 11 West High School student articles who have completed their artwork on display for Pocono Arts Council. 4 of our 11 students earned awards for their entries. Tenny Reel earned Best in Show. Amijah Gonzalez earned 2nd place in Digital Art. Natalie Seeger earned 2nd place in 3D. And Asar Sakwa earned an honorable mention in 2D. Also, I would like to mention 2 Pocono Mountains, 2 of our schools were selected by PDE to receive food service equipment grants. Clearmont Elementary Center will receive $20,825 and Toby Hanna Elementary Center will receive $20,404 for the new combination ovens. PDE received more than 300 applications and selected 130 applications for the grants. So we're pleased that Pocono Mountain will receive 2 of the grants. I'd like to thank our business office for submitting the grant application on behalf of the district. Good job.
Thank you.
I would also like to say that we're very fortunate that we were awarded $45,000 school safety equipment grant by PDE. The funding will help Pocono Mountain add to and enhance the physical security measures as its schools by upgrading and expanding our indoor and outdoor school camera systems. Our district takes a layered approach to safety, combining the use of physical measures along with other programs, training, and policy measures to keep our students, staff, and schools safe. The PA school safety grants we've earned over the past several years through the competitive application process have helped fund many important safety initiatives and priorities for our schools in the Pocono Mountain School District. Dr. Sawicki, Dr. DeLay, Ms. Frabel, and myself work very hard on the school safety grant applications each year. Since we've taken over writing the school safety grants, we've been very successful at earning grant funding for the district to help fund resource officers for our schools and additional and upgraded safety and security equipment, as well as programs to help our students, such as trauma-informed approach and assistance for all of our children. We have some championship athletes that I'd like to recognize tonight. First of all, in wrestling, congratulations to our East and West wrestling teams. Pocono Mountain had 4 wrestlers qualify for the District 11 championships that are going to be competing at the regional tournaments. PM East qualifiers, Scott Raymond, 5th place, 121 pounds. Keegan Damaris, 5th place, 133 pounds. Our West qualifiers include Brandon Steeler, 3rd place at 215 pounds, and Malachi Walters, 4th place at 285 pounds. Our wrestlers will compete this weekend at the Northeast Regional Tournament to place in the top 4 of their weight classes and qualify for the PIAA State Championship Tournament. Basketball. Our District 11 basketball playoff seeds have been determined. In 5A action, number 3, Pocono Mountain East girls basketball team is playing number 2 Bangor tonight at Pleasant Valley High School. Yep. Game should be starting soon. The game is actually scheduled to start at 7:30 this evening. Our Pocono Mountain West boys basketball team has defeated Whitehall last night with a score of 69-60. Senior Juju Pajan scored a team high of 21 points. Sophomore Adrienne Brito had 17 points and 13 rebounds, and freshman KJ Coles added 13 points in the victory. They're going to be playing for the District Gold this Friday night at Pleasant Valley High School against East Stroudsburg at 7 o'clock. Very proud. Some of our other athletes we have to recognize. Let's go to swimming. The following swimmers will compete in the District 11 Swim Championship this weekend at Parkland High School East. Gabrielle McCalla, 100 butterfly, 9th seed, and 100 backstroke, 11th seed. Cornell Susmak, 50 freestyle, 13 seed, and 100 freestyle, 9th seed. Marina, I have a few here to mention. No, we have a few. We're very proud of our students. Marina Kasnadi, 100 butterfly, 11 seed, and 100 backstroke, 8th seed. Adam Yegan, 200 individual medley, 5th, and 100 breaststroke, 8th. Evan Hutton, relay team, and Aland Aldi, relay team. Our West students, senior Raymond Adamitz, junior John Durnham, freshman Eric Makowski, junior Carter Moo, senior Brandon Pavramo, senior Omar Zatar, freshman Ziana McMara Burkott, senior Michaela Dunham, sophomore Ashley Garner, senior Janelle Gabride, senior Natalie Kortik, and senior Lily Pasanti. So we should be very proud of our swimmers as well within our district. Excellent job. Our Pocono Mountain hosted the Northeast PA Odyssey of the Mind competition at the West High School last Saturday. 10 Pocono Mountain teams will be advancing to the state competition in April as follows. Pocono Mountain East Junior High School team earned first place in Pirates and the Treasure, Division 2, and first place in the Most Dramatic Problem Ever, Division 3. Pocono Mountain East High School teams earned first place in Pirates and the Treasure, Division 3, and third place in the Most Dramatic Problem Ever, Division 3. Pocono Mountain West Junior High School teams earned first place in Classics, The Walls of Troy, Division 2, and second place in Where's the Structure, Division 2. Pocono Mountain West High School earned also third place in Because I Can, Division 3. Swiftwater Intermediate School earned second place in the Most Dramatic Problem Ever, Division 1, and Toby Hanna Elementary Center teams earned second place in Where's the Structure, Division 1, and fourth place in Where's the Structure, Division 2. Pocono Mountain has hosted the Northeast Regional Odyssey of the Mind competition for the past 13 years. 11 of the 34 teams advancing to states are from our school district. So we should be very happy. And finally, this morning, we had the honor of hosting Dr. David Volkman, the PA Department of Education Special Advisor to the Secretary of Education, and Eli Downey, the PDE Director of Intergovernmental Affairs at the West High School, where they attended the school's Black History Month Assembly and celebration. After the assembly, our guests were escorted by our West student leaders on a tour of the West High School. They visited the student coffee shop and the Panther Den. The visit was a great success. Mr. Downey is a graduate of West High School, completed college, and now holds an important position at PDE. We're very proud of his accomplishments. We are also very proud of Mrs. Flagger, the teachers, and all of our students who worked so hard to produce such an amazing assembly honoring Black History Month. And I would like to thank the West High School administration for being such a wonderful host this morning. And also thank you to our board members that were able to attend this outstanding event today. And that concludes my report.
Madam President,
Microphone, good.
Madam President, I just want to say, where Dr. Robinson called out all the athletes' names, they're winning these competitions and stuff like that. Not only they're winning competition in sport, they're winning it in the classroom as well. They're doing a great job, and I'm proud of all of them, both East and West. So we're doing it as a unit.
I agree.
I second
I
that.
agree, Mr. Byrd.
I
And you-
second you.
We do want to give a round of applause for the safety grant, Dr. Robinson. You guys did a really great job in getting that. Mhm. And those biscottis today, though, who
Oh,
got to give a shout out to them at the coffee shop.
yes, thank you to the the
You didn't
physical
Oh, yeah.
education.
Oh, we should have. We ate them.
Oh, sorry, we ate them.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
It's wonderful report.
Okay, where are we? Okay, support staff services. Nobody, okay. Oh, Joe, do you have? Support staff services.
No report, no. Well, actually, maybe it was not, February has only 28 days. So until actually next year, I believe is leap year. So 28 days gone by. So picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's look at slide 3 with the custodial department, with the various events at SEC and SIS events set up. And you'll see also the cleaning and the sanitizing of various restrooms there throughout the district. And of course, slide 4, which was just indicated, Odyssey of the Mind there. Congrats to everybody. There was the Odyssey of the Mind event set up at the West High School by our custodial department. On slide 6, seeing our grounds department preparing different areas there with utilizing the machinery that the district has for various areas there with the West discus and East shot put for track and field, and removal of some concrete to fix some of the discus pads there. You'll see then on slide 8, the East Band and choral room acoustic panel installation by our maintenance department, as well as some replacement windows for energy efficiency in the admin building here. Slide 9, you'll see the February work orders, 836 work orders in the different fields between plumbing, carpentry, electrical maintenance, and HVAC. All samples have been taken and meeting all regulations per the Environmental Services Department on slide 10. And slide 11, continuing our refresher sessions on bus safety, and our CDL instructors held safety meetings for drivers and van drivers and for bus drivers on slide 11. 995 trips were completed for the month of February on slide 12. And you'll see there the fuel consumption there for the transportation department, as well as our maintenance and grounds equipment and vehicles on slide 13. And finally, on slide 14, our security department continues to monitor foot patrols, bus arrival, dismissals, and student drop off and pickup throughout the district. And that is pretty much the month of February, the 28 days that have occurred this past month.
Thank you, Mr. Colaza. Sorry, I forgot to turn my head. I didn't know you were reporting that.
That's okay.
About the financial update.
Yes, and then we go right into that, the financial report. So the financial report, just a few things regarding budget. We're always talking about budget, and we're going to be talking about it again from our neighbors here in the front row pretty soon, coming soon to the board meeting near you. So, and then at the last meeting, you were missed because it was supposed to be the trifecta where the IU was here, the district budget, and then the year before we had you there. So next year we have to plan to have all 3 budgets to have our budget party.
We were disappointed.
I was glad. I was glad. Thank you.
Looking at the budget for the district, just looking at the enrollment reports for this month, that if that was to continue for cyber education based upon enrollment, there may be need to adjust the budget for next year based upon an increase in enrollment, approximately $300,000. We're going to continue to monitor the enrollment each month based upon the fuel bids through the IU. We're looking at some decreases in our appropriations for heating oil, diesel, and 87 octane, as well as propane. So there'll be a few dollars there, a reduction, which is good, as well as the copy bid, a small light reduction there as well. And then just reading here from the PSBA page, Governor Shapiro to deliver state budget address on March 7th, that on Tuesday, March 7th, the Governor Shapiro will present his 23-24 state budget proposal to the General Assembly. First-term governors have an additional month to present their budget proposals. The governor has not yet indicated what funding levels or initiatives will be included in his spending plan. Following the governor's budget address, the appropriation committees of the Senate and House of Representatives are expected to conduct separate hearings with state cabinet secretaries and other agency leaders to discuss the specific parts of the proposal. So stay tuned. On March 7th, we'll hear more of some of the initiatives, but as we all know, then over several weeks, several months until the month of June hits and we find out what the final state funding is for the school district. So it'll be a wait and see. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Colazo. We can't wait. Okay, an executive session was held prior to this meeting to discuss personnel and litigation matters. Dr. Sweeney.
At this time, I'd like to call up to the podium, Mrs. Wondolowski and Mr. Mark Sioka. Mrs. Wondolowski is the director of our Pocono Mountain School District Cyber Program, and certainly putting forth a tremendous effort in continuing to bring back students to the Pocono Mountain School District, as well increasing our cyber program, which she will be discussing. And Mr. Sioka is an art educator who teaches for the cyber program and just did an incredible art presentation with his students. So welcome and thank you.
Well, Mr. Steoka, he doesn't have to stand here while I spiel a little bit, and then he can move on. So I'll start. I'm Nora Wondolowski. I think I've met everybody. I wasn't here the last time we went over the program of studies. I just want to hit a couple of things that in particular we've been working on with our cyber program regarding curriculum that we're offering. As always, we are aligned with PMSD curriculum in the building. So what is offered on the high school levels as far as core curriculum is concerned, we also offer those topics, those courses. And we have particularly PA state certified individuals, teachers that cover those courses through live daily instruction, grades K to 12, to provide all of that instruction and support to align the curriculum. But once we get past the curriculum for Pocono Mountain Cyber, we have that live instruction that keeps us linked, keeps those students connected to the teachers, gives them that interaction with their peers, keeps them on track, makes sure that we are seeing them. They're not just in cyber out there, completely forgotten. They're with us, we're connected to them. So this makes our program a little bit different. And the component of having the live instruction is what kind of leads us into the next thing. And what we worked hard on was getting our core courses NCAA cleared, approved. So what that means is the little description there is courses and proof of graduation may be used in that initial eligibility certification. So if we have student athletes that choose to participate in the Pocono Mountain Cyber Program, their courses will meet the requirements if they choose to participate in athletics on the next level. This was an important thing that Dr. Sweeney initiated us getting involved with. She and I worked well together to get that settled with the NCAA to jump through all the hoops. There's a lot of them. But we went through all of the steps and made sure that we meet those core requirements, as do our buildings. So the classes, nice long list of the English, math, science, and social studies courses that have been cleared by the NCAA for the Pocono Mountain Cyber Program. There's a long list. We have academic, honors, AP courses in all of the 4 core subjects, just to make sure that our student athletes have opportunities, if they so choose, to go beyond the traditional classroom and to participate in Pocono Mountain Cyber. Just one more thing that sets us apart from other cyber programs. So because I have all of these teachers, we've talked about them, I rattle on about them every time I get a chance. You've given me an amazing teaching team, and I am always very grateful to have everybody on this list to make sure that our teachers provide our students with a PMSD education. And they are working hard every single day to provide that live instruction. So to provide that live instruction beyond just the traditional core courses, which we cover, we also have electives And one of the key electives has been our cyber art program. And without Mr. Sioka, cyber art would not be where it is today. It would still be those two classes at the bottom, art appreciation and art history, which are through our Edgenuity system. We would not have been able to add the elementary art, junior high school art opportunities, as well as 4 high school level art courses that Mr. Sioka tirelessly works on to offer through Google Classroom. So come on up, Mr. Sioka. So they asked if I had any fun pictures or anything like that in my PowerPoint, and I said, no. I said, Mr. Sioka brought live picture. Well, no, he did a good job of taking the pictures of the amazing art display that he and his students created in the lobby of the cyber building. Please stop over to the cyber program, come see us, come see it. But Mr. Sioka is going to tell us a little bit about what cyber art looks like. So
Thank
All
you
right.
very much for those kind words, Nora.
I'm going to do my best Vanna and come around just a little bit so everybody can see what Mr. Sioka is talking about.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about the program a little bit, and more specifically about one of our students, Kai Overstreet. On that trifold that Nora is now presenting to you, in the center is our current art exhibition, K through 12. And it shows a large variety of student work, which is very impressive. It's the second art show we've had this school year. And on one side is my work, and on the other side is Kai Overstreet. And Kai Overstreet is one of our outstanding secondary students. I met Kai last year in my art appreciation 7A class. Kai showed up all the time for those live meets. We were drawing everything from original cartoons, original ideas to perspective and technical based drawings. This year, Kai returned, Studio Art 1 in the fall, and is very actively involved and motivated to make additional art on their own by using an app called Ibis Art. Kai has created a body of work, which is the majority of those images that you see, plus took up 3 sections of this current exhibit. All of the time, I'm getting new ideas and new presentations on a daily basis from Kai. And so with that being said, Kai has taken upon themselves that they will participate in going to MCTI next year, being accepted into the graphic arts program, which is fantastic because that is going to serve Kai very well. And the parents are as proud as heck to see what is being produced and encouraging. Also on that, in the right side upper section, there is 3D printing that Kai has worked with their father and learning the program and working into a 3D print, 3-dimensional work, which is fantastic. So here we have a student who was motivated, guided, and now working in just not traditional art, but 3D design, STEAM. I know we have a STEM program, which is fantastic and growing all the time, and that component of art leads us to STEAM as well. So maybe that's something that would be on the agenda for future development in the art curriculum, along with STEM given to students. But I think I covered everything. Did I miss anything? All right.
The programs that Mr. Sioka has helped us build, offering opportunities to our Pocono Mountain students so they can continue beyond in the field of art, if they're still interested. We're so excited, actually. Mr. Sioka said to me, "Did you plan it that MCI would be here tonight?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I did." No, I didn't. But it works for a nice transition. I am very excited to participate in the graphics program, and we do feel like that'll really serve wonders. So, absolutely.
No, I was just going to have Nora note that that's just one of the options that students have when they attend our cyber program. They can go to MCTI for the in-person instruction while still be participating in our cyber for the online instruction. So there are numerous options for students that don't want to just be full-time, meaning within the cyber, but to go to MCTI, dual enrollment. And we also have school to work and some different things and also at the elementary level as well, to go in and take core content and or related arts during the school day.
Absolutely. We have students participating in MCTI and a lot of different programs. We take our students down, we tour, we participate with all of that. We go through the applications and we really do feel, I know you guys are just right here and I feel like I'm like, MCTI. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
helping out with that budget.
All right, there we go. But as Dr. Sweeney said, there are options beyond, we just happen to take this moment to celebrate Pi and focus on the art program. But beyond that, we offer electives in phys ed, we have music, we have
Technology, coding.
computers, coding, kindergarten through 12th grade, there's a lot of different opportunities. And it's something we're very proud of as we continue to develop it and expand it beyond just that traditional core course curriculum, which absolutely is unmatched, in my opinion, as far as cyber. You really do link them right back to the school and right back to the building and keep them connected to the curriculum. Anybody have any questions for me, for us?
Excuse me, Madam President, Dr. Roberts, we visited in what, August, September? Sometime in the fall. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is that I think more people should go and see what's on that wall. That young man that's doing all the drawings and stuff, it's incredible, incredible. I mean, again, you're gonna always find this from me. I think Pocono Mountain School District is second to none. And I think the cyber system here, Pocono Mountain School District, is second to none. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you again.
And Ms. Wendelowski, I just want to say you run an incredible cyber program, you and your staff. And I know firsthand how amazing Mr. Sioka is as an art teacher. My daughter had him for several years in high school, all four, I believe. And he's just incredible. And all your teachers are incredible. And you guys do such a phenomenal job at our cyber program. So thank you.
And we're continue to expand the opportunities. Ms. Wondolowski has been running field trips for the students that have been very well attended. Not only, for example, the Bog and the Kettle Creek, which are the curriculum related field trips, but they most recently went down to the aquarium in Scranton, which was, you had 25 elementary students, very successful, very excited. And really the icing on the cake has been getting the NCAA blessing. There's no program within our area that has gotten that blessing. And it's really due to the school board support in allowing us to provide a full-time teaching staff for the cyber program. So thank you very much.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you again. Ms. Frabel, any emails? Okay, recognition of visitors, agenda items only. Okay. MCTI, you are up next.
Thank you. And excellent presentation, and thanks for helping us out. Before I get started, I want to introduce Joel Baruch. Joel's our new business manager, if you have not met him. So this is his first budget that he has helped put together. He did an excellent job. And you'll see in a little bit how hopefully the presentation will be as painless as possible. Starting off real quick is how we're funded. I just want to remind you how MCTI is funded in Monroe County. So we do serve the 4 districts. It's a 4-year rolling average of what's called ADMs. I'm sure you've heard that term before, but it's essentially a fancy way of saying enrollment. And I think this is, since I've been presenting the budget, Pocono Mountains enrollment and MCTI just continues to flourish, it continues to grow. And that's really thanks to your counselors, your administration, and everything you guys do to push our programs. And you can see up on that screen, so you are by far the largest district in our county. You continue to grow as far as our percentage. So this year, you're about 35% of our population. And you can see that's an increase from last year. So that's excellent. You'll see in that little red area, that's the year that dropped off. So the year that dropped off was an ADM of 316 students. You're at 352. And as of today, you have 396 students at MCTI. So again, it's really kudos to your staff and your administration for showing what we offer. With that said, of course, what the ADM represents is it's really how you pay. So the more students you send, of course, the payment goes up. Now, East Stroudsburg has had the largest increase. They had a pretty good increase in students over the last couple of years. So they're seeing the bulk of the increase for our budget. You'll notice up there, Pleasant Valley and Stroudsburg are going down. Pleasant Valley's enrollment is very strong with us. Their district enrollment has dropped. Stroudsburg is a work in progress with their enrollment at our school. So that's just a breakdown. You'll notice this year, like I said, it's 35.23% of our budget that Pocono Mountain will be responsible for compared to last year, which was 34.8. Just highlighting enrollment real quick. This is countywide. This is not specifically Pocono Mountain. And this is something I try to stress every time I get a chance to present to the school boards. So what you're looking at is the percentage of 10th through 12th graders in Monroe County who attend MCTI. So you'll see 10 years ago, we were just over 10%. We are now over 15%. State average is 12. So we continue to increase. And I know you all know this, that the enrollment in Monroe County as a whole in our schools has dropped, unfortunately, but our enrollment in MCTI has gone up. So even though there's less kids in the county, there's more kids coming to our school. We are maxed out on space. We're maxed out on programs, which I'll get to in a little bit when I talk about a hopeful addition. But overall, we're doing very well with our enrollment. And Pocono Mountain is probably the superstar of that. So what you see up here is your school. Now the colors, I just kind of use your school colors. That's not indicative of your West and East High School. West does have a little bit more students with us. I think they have about 30 more kids with us. But what you're looking at here is really that same thing, but broken down by school district. And you'll notice Pocono Mountain has seen a tremendous increase. So this past year, 16% of all of your kids, grades 10 through 12, attend MCTI. PV has historically been the highest, but you guys are gaining on them, which that should be a race that you want to win, and you guys are doing a great job. So again, that's something I think as a district, as a school board, you should be proud of. I know it ties money to it, but what we offer at MCTI, I think the kids will benefit from. So that's enrollment. Real quick on the operating budget, this is pretty straightforward. And I did fail to mention, so really what you're seeing is kind of two presentations. So there's going to be the actual budget that you'll be voting. I don't know if you're voting on it tonight or your next meeting. So I will show you what you're actually voting on, but I am also going to show a second presentation essentially showing our capital plan, which is a hopeful addition. So as far as our operating budget goes, we have an increase of $30,000, just shy of $31,000. It's the lowest increase in 10 years at MCTI. So no pressure on Joel. He set a good precedent moving forward. But how did we accomplish it? How did that happen? So everybody knows, I think you guys know, I'm sure you're talking about your budgets. The PISA rate, the drop in PISA rate did help us quite a bit, saved us about $80,000, which for us is a large amount of money. We did have some personnel changes, Joel being one of them, but we are at the point, and this is unfortunately something that's sad, is we are seeing turnover at our school because we have teachers retiring. It's not so much people are just leaving. We have a staff who is reaching the age of retirement. And as you guys know, when you replace personnel, generally that lowers the cost. One other thing that's a little unique for MCTI that you may not be aware of is contract negotiations, which everybody loves talking about contract negotiations. For MCTI, we're a little unique. We do not negotiate salary with our teachers. Our salary schedule is made up of a weighted average of the 4 districts. Mixed negotiations a lot easier, as you know, that can get hectic during that time period. But what kind of puts us in a bind is we rely on the districts to have a contract. Well, last year when we developed our budget, 3 districts were out of contract. East Stroudsburg did not have a contract, Pleasant Valley and Stroudsburg. So what that does to us, because we have to have our budget done earlier than a typical school district, we kind of have to guess the salary schedule for our teachers. And of course, we have to be a little conservative in that approach because the last thing I want to do is not have enough money to pay the teachers, which means I have to come back to you guys and say, hey, I need more money. So we have to be conservative billing those salary schedules. So that is a little unique. It's a little challenging for us. Thankfully, currently we have all 4 districts in. I will tell you in another 3 years, I believe 2 or 3 years, we're going to be in the same spot where 3 districts will be out unless something changes. So how did that cause savings for us? Because we were conservative, when we actually, now that we know what the salary schedule looks like, we did over budget, which means we cut that back a little bit for this year's budget to reflect the actual salaries. Expenditure wise, there's nothing super exciting. Utilities were the big culprit. Our electric rate, unfortunately, our contract expired this year, which electric has gone up. So that was a big part of it. You'll notice diesel and propane, that's a little misleading. That's actually a savings technique. So I know Miss Leonard is gonna love this, but for those who are familiar with our building, we put boilers in, I don't know, 8 years ago. The boilers were definitely a little oversized for the building. But we also, to fix that, we put in a pony boiler, which is a smaller boiler that runs off of propane. So we are actually making changes so that pony boiler will actually run later in the season and earlier in the spring. So it's really a cost savings measure. So we don't have to use those enormous boilers that are just not efficient. Propane is much more efficient using that pony boiler. So the 110% increase, not so much on price, it's we're using it more to use less diesel fuel, if that makes sense. So that is the overall budget. I'm not going to go over all this. This is your expenditures and revenue. It's not overly exciting. The one thing I will point out, I mentioned the salary schedule. The vocational education line is, you see, a decrease of $50,000. That's because of personnel changes and also, like I talked about earlier, the salary schedule. Revenue is definitely not exciting because we are predominantly funded by school districts. One thing I will talk about in a little bit is something called vocational subsidy. I know Joe talked about the state budget. Career and tech ed does get some funding from the state. MCTIU is unique though, because we do not keep that money. We get it back to the districts. It's in our articles of agreement. So it is a unique setup. Most schools keep that vocational subsidy, most CTCs, I should say. So the bottom line for you guys, and it's really not the bottom line because I got to show you the vocational subsidy. So Pocono Mountain, you guys are seeing an increase of $56,000 overall. But I'll show you the net in a little bit. You'll see Stroudsburg has a pretty significant drop, but that's because their enrollment has dropped. Which I don't want to speak for our superintendents, but I think they would rather see it the other way. They want to see enrollment go up, and if they have to pay, they have to pay. So that's something we're working on at Stroudsburg. But that $56,000 number, if you look at that real quick, I'll show you the net in a second with vocational subsidy. Capital, it's worth mentioning for those of you who've been on the board for a while, you probably remember me coming here and asking for quite a bit of money for our roof and HVAC projects. Well, we are no longer doing that. We have different means of funding capital now, thank goodness. So we are not asking for any capital money. So the vocational subsidy, this is important that we try to explain this as best we can. So I alluded to earlier, career and tech centers receive vocational subsidy from the state. So when a new governor presents his budget in education, you'll see a line for vocational subsidy. That is designed to go to the career and tech schools. At MCTI, and we're not the only one, there are other schools who do this. At MCTI, what happens is we're a pass-through. We receive that vocational subsidy and then we send it back to the districts. And that's just how our articles are written. LCTI, which is in Lehigh County, is the same way. But you'll notice it's tied to enrollment. So if you look at Pocono Mountain, because your enrollment is so strong, you have seen an increase this past year of an estimated of about $47,000 vocational subsidy. So when you take that revenue that you guys will get that share of and subtract that from your increase in our budget, it's really a net expense increase of just shy of $10,000. And that's something that we do want to show you guys. So Stroudsburg, again, not beating up Stroudsburg, but they are getting less vocational subsidy because they send less students. So does that make sense? Does Just want everybody to understand vocational subsidy. That is essentially what you will be voting on. So I'll go back real quick. So this is when you vote on our budget, it'll be the increase, it'll read an increase of $56,000. So that is our budget. Any questions on that piece before I get to capital? All right, so capital, something that we have been working on since I've been director for 5 years, and the school boards in Monroe County have helped out a lot to finally get our building's aging. So we did some infrastructure repairs such as our roof, HVAC, stuff like that. We're at the point now where we need to improve what we offer to the county. I alluded to earlier, we are maxed out on space. I cannot open up any more programs, which is limiting to what we can offer. So we have been working on an addition. For about 1.5 years now, we proposed a 15,000 square foot addition, which would include 2 new programs. It would include a 9,000 square foot area. We'll call it a multi-purpose room. If you've been to our building before, you know, we don't have a location for student assemblies. We don't have a location for community events. We don't even have a location for graduation. We'll be at Pokemon East again this year, actually. So for our students, it'd be nice to have it. Plus, we can show off our student work, and it's very important to do that. We have cars that our kids have redone in auto body. They're underneath blankets, essentially, because we have nowhere to put them. I really would like the community to see it. And this would also be open to the community to host their own events. Also, equally important, if not the most important thing to me, you guys talked about your safety, your school safety grant. Safety is the #1 concern for any educator. And at MCTI, it's always a concern for me because the way our building was designed, it was not designed for 1,100 students. So if you come to our school in transition, so from 10:15 to 11:15, when we have 1,100 kids transitioning between coming back or coming to MCTI or going back, we don't have anywhere to put them. Our cafeteria is designed for about 400 people. So if you come at the wrong time, you'll be walking through a large number of students. They will be outside. They will be in our lobby, which is not ideal whatsoever. There's a lot of terrible things that could happen with that. It's just not a secure environment. So what this will do is in that transition, the kids will no longer be outside and no longer be in the lobby. When they're done eating lunch, we can transition using this large multi-purpose room, keep them inside. And that is very important. Secondly, again, if you've come to our building, you get through our front door and you are in the heart of our building. You're in the cafeteria, essentially. Not ideal. So this would bump our entrance all the way out to the sidewalk. You get funneled into a security entrance point. After that, you still have a long corridor you have to get through and get through another set of doors before we have access to our building. And for anybody who's ever taken part in school safety planning, those few seconds are extremely important for us. So it's really a multifaceted addition that will really improve the school. The JOC has moved to a design phase, which school board members, you know this, that's a big commitment. It's about a $400,000 step process that we will actually go through the entire design of this addition. We'll get all the permits, we'll do all the stuff that's required to build. So we are ready to go once we have the funding. I will tell you, you'll see in a minute, I'm pretty confident we do have the funding lined up. So if everything works out, the design phase will be done early fall of next school year. We will go out for bid at the end of the year. So November, December next school year. And then if everything goes well, we will break ground next spring. So how are we paying for that? So this is just a layout. I think I've presented this before. That's just a crafter who did that, the feasibility study for us. So where are we on money? So the project originally, before inflation hit, we would have had the money. But currently the project's upwards of about $5.5 to $6 million. We currently have in our capital improvement fund $4.3 million. Now, if you recall, and I know Joe helped us with this quite a bit, we had no funding mechanism for capital projects at MCTI other than asking the school districts for money. It's not the best way of planning. So we have been rolling over. All the school districts agreed to let us keep our budgetary reserve, which we never touch. It's part of our budget of $220,000, which is split amongst the 4 districts. We take that money and we put it in our capital. So now every year we're getting a nice chunk of money that we can put in capital, which it helps out long term. It really does. It puts us in a bind, have to come here and ask for more money. So the $4.3 million, $2 million of it was through a grant. So we did receive a grant. We received another grant. If you're familiar with LSA, last year received a $280,000 grant. We will be applying for LSA again. I have been meeting quite a bit with Senator Brown. Representative Probst toured the building the other day. She was very impressed. Representative Madden is very familiar with this project. Representative Rader was at the school. So we are pushing for another $500,000. So that's the goal. Even with that, we used our ESSER money. We supplemented our budget, so we're using our ESSER money towards this and our house project money. So in total, we currently, at the end of this school year, will have $5.5 million. So we are right there. Next year, with just the budgetary reserve and the remainder of ESSER, we're over 6 million. So that should be enough to cover the addition. That's why I'm optimistic. However, to add to that, we have excess revenue that the JOC is aware of. We'll be presenting this on Monday to them, and they will come back to you guys. We have excess revenue of $1.4 million. Now, 400,000 of it is ESSER money. So the $1 million that is not accounted for in that grid I just showed you. If you remember me saying this last year, all 4 districts have to agree to that. Now, we have presented at the other 3 school districts already. It is in the same presentation. Last year, we did have a concern about 1 district. That concern is not there anymore. They're just in better shape. So we're confident that the school districts, the other 3 districts, are in support of this. So where does that leave us is at the end of this year, if we keep that $1 million in excess revenue, we are $6.5 million. And end of next year, 7 million. So what does that mean? That means the addition will get done. That means we will still have money left over, which I think is very important. We don't want to spend every dollar for this project. We still have other projects we need to tackle. We need our parking lot done. We need additional parking for graduation and community events. So it just planning wise, it doesn't make sense to use all of it for one project. So if we keep that $1 million in excess revenue, we will not just have any addition that we need at the school, but it will continue to grow for what we offer our students and our community. Any questions, either on the budget or on the capital?
The rendering that you showed, was that from your existing parking lot and just trying to vision?
Yeah, that's from the existing parking lot. So if you walk, as soon as you step foot on the sidewalk, that addition will come right to that sidewalk.
Okay.
So you have to walk up those stairs and get up there. So that will all be building.
Right, and I know, even when I worked there years ago, it was so crowded, and I know how much you need this.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the most stressful part of the day.
Just a quick question. Do we know what the programs that we'll be adding with the new addition would be?
So we're confident in one of them. One of them is a program called mechatronics. Some people call it electromechanical. Really what they do is all the pneumatics and hydraulics that you see like at Sanofi, Weiler Brush, anything like that, United Envelope, they're the people who fix it. And the demand out there is crazy. So I just had a meeting down at Bethlehem. They're starting this project at Bethlehem. They have kids leaving Bethlehem making $55,000 a year in that field. There's just not enough out there. It's an expensive program to start. So that's part of the capital. The second program is up in the air. So there is technology programs that we're looking at. There are health programs, physical therapy is a growing program. And actually the newest program in the state, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but they just approved an educator development CTE program. So training teachers. So that just got approved. It actually came up at Pleasant Valley when we presented there. Somebody brought that up. It's something else we would look at. For us to open that up, we would have to survey students, and for any program, we have to see if there's need, which I'm pretty sure we all know there's need for teachers. We have to make sure students are interested. And for a program like that, we'd have to get articulation agreements with ESU so kids leave us with college credit.
Well, I see a lot more than just an empty building. I see many jobs that will be created in the future from this, and full example of what CTE means for Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we need a motion to approve the MCTI 2023-24 budget.
So moved, Nathan Strunk.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Oh, it's such a great school. Okay, Colonial IU 20, Dr. Robinson. Right?
Yes, in front of the board tonight is the summer 2023 proposal, and this is for our extended school year in collaboration with IU 20. For the past, this will be our 4th year. We've actually hosted the program at our Pocono Mountain West High School. And I would like the board's blessing to do that moving forward. The dates are July 10th through August 3rd. Once again, in comparison with our regular summer school proposal being Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the summer. The times are listed with the last closeout day. Usually they have a celebration of all the students on that day, which is August 3rd. Transportation will be provided for the extended school year for our special education students. So I would need a motion to approve that.
Second, Chris Grape Garvey.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, first reading, cyber program.
Yeah, Nora
Oh.
had reviewed that, so it's really just for a first. reading at
Okay, you
this
just
point.
started to confuse me. I think that's how you guys do
That
that.
was an easy one.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so we need a motion to approve items 8.01 through 8.04.
So moved, Dana Lopez.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We need a motion to approve item 8.05, approval of board meeting minutes from February 15th.
So moved. Hey, I got my mic on.
Did anybody second?
Second, I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard. Motion carried. Items 9.01 to items 9.05, I need a motion to approve.
Second, Anna Lopez.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Any other items or concerns from board members? Are you going to say anything about the conferences?
No,
Nope.
report.
Okay, we need a motion to approve that. Motion to approve conferences and field trips, item 10.
Second, Anna Lopez.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Nothing. We already went through the cyber school, charter school enrollments. Okay. Any additional reports?
No reports.
Recognition of visitors, non-agenda items. Do we have any emails? Okay. Hi, Ms. Grazen.
Jessica Granz and I live in Pocono Pines. I'm here tonight to address the fact that 2 weeks ago, there was an event posted on Facebook about offering resources to parents facing issues with their children in Monroe County schools, whether it be academic bullying or information on current school standings. I learned of a group called Stop Moms for Liberty and that they're
Is that on?
I think I have to just put it up a little bit. Or
Okay, you're on. Sorry. Continue.
I learned of a group called Stop Moms for Liberty and that there are local community members as part of that group. They are calling for other members of the group to call, harass, threaten, protest, and picket any business that hosts Mom for Liberty members. The owners of Big Wheel in East Stroudsburg and Pocono Rocks in Mount Pocono received multiple calls and emails from people across the country threatening their businesses if they allow this parent resource event to take place. Members of the Monroe County Moms for Liberty have received death threats and hate mail in response to this Stop Moms for Liberty page and specific posts by local community members Trey Hoyampa and Allison Nicole on that page. In the post, I was extremely disappointed to see Marion Pizek tagged. The reason I'm so disappointed is because when you first came on the board, I stuck up for her. I defended her when people told me she wouldn't be a good addition to the board. I argued that just because we have different political views, we can still have the same goal in protecting our children and ensuring a successful future for them. Since then, I've seen her advocate for sexually explicit material for children, advocate that PMSD is the best education a child can receive, and now is supporting a group that is threatening, abusing, and harassing local businesses and parents for providing access to state and federal resources already available to them. I don't know her level of involvement in the group, but the fact that she's part of this group and directly tagged in the post calling for these terrible actions to be taken is a travesty to me. I'm embarrassed and devastated that this is how she chooses to treat her community members, local businesses, and fellow parents. As a businesswoman herself, she should absolutely condemn the cancel culture that these known community members are calling for. If harassing, abusing, and supporting death threats to people is what she supports, I believe she should be removed from the board on those grounds. I was still a supporter of Ms. Pyzik up until this information was presented to me within the last few weeks. I understand having different political views, but I have never called for, supported, or have engaged in violence against my own community. If anyone would like proof of any of this that I've mentioned, please contact me personally.
Ms. Granton, hold on. I do want to say something. I am not only on the Stop Moms for Liberty, I am also on Moms for Liberty. And excuse me. I do want to say that I cannot help when people tag me. People tag me a lot. And I stand. Hold on. And I will, and thank you. I cannot help when people tag me, and I will stand here again today and let you know. We may not always agree on things like the books, but I will always respect and listen to everyone. And yes, I am tagged, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. Anybody else?
For the record, I just want to make sure it's Jessica. What's your last name again? I don't think you said your full name when you started
Franzen.
unless
I said it wrong. That was my mistake.
okay.
Branson.
Thank you for, we always appreciate public comment.
My name is Maggie Hartman. I live in Region 1,
What's the township?
Paradise Town.
Oh, Paradise.
Sorry. I wasn't prepared to come here tonight, but just for the record, the complaints about our schools in Monroe County, that post was initiated by Ms. Granson. So what she's referencing is the post that she made to incite a whole bunch of complaints from other people on social media, like in the Pocono Moms group. And they also tag state senators and various people in these posts. And I have not seen Marion engage in any of it. And I know for a fact that what they're claiming that these Stop Moms for Liberty people are doing is actually exactly what they do. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman. Anybody else?
I just have to say from my experience on this board, we are all objective. I think we all try to balance the issues. We try to be open-minded. So I really can't believe none of us, I feel we all are open-minded. And like I said, we're objective and we try to hear all sides of an issue. I can't believe that, one of us would have a certain agenda.
Any?
Emotional because we're not that type of people.
We've always tried to stay open-minded and hear all sides. And I told you before, we may not always agree, but Ms. Frable.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something that the official social media site of the district is the Pocono Mountain School District Facebook page. We do not allow comments because we don't have time to monitor it and things can get out of hand pretty quickly. But if people want information on the district, that's our official social media site. Our schools also have social media sites. Arguments among people on social media sites, we really can't manage that or contain that. People are certainly welcome to come here if they have a concern with the board member or with the district or something we're posting. So I'm not trying to shut down any kind of public comment. Those comments were allowed tonight, but what we can't have happen here is fights among different sites and different posters that really have very little to do with the district. And so I just would caution people that certainly if you have a concern with our social media sites or what we're posting, we will certainly do that. If you see something of a threatening nature against one of our schools, please report that immediately to the principals or through the Safe to Say Something anonymous reporting system, because we do act on those immediately. And those types of reports help us keep our schools safe, and hopefully some of the rhetoric can be toned down so that we can just have productive discussions on social media. We are not even accepted onto a lot of those sites. We, as in me and others, when I try to join just to see what type of concerns are out in the community, we're not usually accepted on the sites. So we're at a bit of a disadvantage with what's being posted, but certainly we'll act on something that is a threat against our schools or of threatening nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Frabel.
Good evening. My name's Angie Rivera. I'm from Cobalt Township. I've been in this community for 5 years, and I'd like to say that being part of Moms for Liberty, it does have something to do with our community. It should be mentioned because we are a community that tries to help certain parents to be familiar with their parental rights. And for the young lady who was back there smiling mockingly, your shirt says radically inclusive. I invite you to have a conversation with me. I invite anyone to have a conversation with me if they would like to know more about what we stand for, instead of just calling us names, creating these pages, because what we're discussing right now, we're actually being divided. It's ridiculous. I invite you guys to have a conversation with us. Any questions, comments, have the guts to ask us what it is that we're actually about, our statements or what we stand for, but assuming makes an ASS out of you and me. So for Mary, whether it's true or not, yes, we can agree to disagree, but I think that's where the problem is. We have to learn to agree at something that helps our kids in our community, and that goes for everyone here. So if we do stand for inclusivity, how come we can't sit down at a damn table and have a decent conversation and then come to some type of an agreement? Because being divided like this, it's ridiculous. Look at my skin. People think I'm Black. I'm Hispanic. I was born and raised here in America. My parents are Dominican, and I stand for parental rights. I love Mom for Liberties. We are not a terroristic group. My skin color says otherwise. So again, young lady in the back, the way you just walked by, smile like that, that was not appropriate. That is causing division right there. If you want to talk to me, my name's Angie, approach me. We can come to some type of agreement, but this has got to stop. Moms for Liberty, you guys have no idea who we are. Come to know us, come to greet us. We can meet you guys, discuss things, what we stand for, but that's how it starts, with an introduction, not with an assumption.
Thank you, Angie. And you know, we have spoken a few times and I agree with you. And we're not always going to agree. We're not always going to agree with Moms for Liberty or Stop Moms for Liberty. And we're never going to all agree as a community. But I said it before and I said it multiple times. We have to discuss it and then see where it goes. And most of us here are all for parental rights. So I thank you for coming up, and I am always happy to sit with the two of you. And I said that to you when I first got on the board, and also to sit with the Stop Moms for Liberty people. And I think anybody on this board is willing to listen, grab coffee or whatever. So just reach out. And they did kick me off that page for Moms for Liberty, just so you know. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, wait. Oh, all in, oh, Nora.
Wait. Yeah, Mr. Siokin, I'm sorry he had to run, redesigned our shirt a little bit. And so I wanted to make sure everybody got one. So I guess on size, but if I'm off on size, just let me know. But we'd love for you to celebrate Pokemon Mountain Cyber as you're out in the community.
Well, thank you, Ms. Wondolowski. With that, meeting is adjourned.
Meeting adjourned, yes. Okay.